Everybody. I hope that everybody is having a good day today. Hopefully, I am live. I'm going to wait just a second because it doesn't look like it is going yet. Here we go. All right. So now I know that I'm up and running. That is awesome. I hope everybody is having a fantastic Wednesday. Today is, in fact, actually Wednesday, in case you aren't 100% sure. I know that there have been days when I had no idea what day it actually was. So just in case you needed that help too. So I wanted to hop on here and do what I'm calling a lighthearted lunchtime. Now, if you're in California, it's lighthearted breakfast because you're 3 hours earlier in time than I am. But for me, it's lunchtime on the East Coast. And I thought I would just jump in here and offer some encouragement during this time and just some thoughts that I've been having. So I wanted to start off with a proverb that I read earlier today, and that is, anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. And I know that we're all, well, a lot of us, not everybody, is feeling a lot of anxiety lately. There's just a lot of anxiety to kind of go around right now. And I think that proverb sums it up well, that it can weigh a man's heart down, right? It can weigh us down when we're feeling anxious. So I wanted to be a good word today and offer a good word that can hopefully lift your heart and lift your spirits and give you just something to think about. I wanted to talk a little bit about the term social distancing. And I had heard this on from a YouTuber that I was watching the other day. So shout out to Michael Downey from Downey Live up in Canada. And then my intern, Latanya, had also brought it up. And that's the social distancing might not be the best term, that it's more physical distancing, and that we still need to be connected socially. And I thought about that, and some folks may say, oh my goodness, that's just semantics, and what word does it matter? We have to hang out in the house. But I think words do matter, right? And the way that we phrase things can influence how we feel about them. So if we're saying, I'm physically distancing myself from other humans, that just means I'm not within however many feet or meters we're supposed to be. And we're not going to parties and, that sort of thing. But if we're socially distancing, that also means social, not connected. And that's not what we want to do right now. We want to be socially connected as much as humanly possible. And I think that we're kind of seeing that in all of the organizations and stuff doing Zoom meetings and, online Bible studies and online fitness and all that stuff. And I think that is fantastic. So I think that it might do us well to change the term a bit to, well, we're physically distancing right now. We're not physically all in the same places. But like I had said on another live, we can still celebrate things like through things like Zoom or FaceTime or Google Hangouts or what have you, so that we can, still maintain those really important connections. So humans are inherently social creatures. So we want to be able to have that social connection. And that can be really important, especially for everybody that lives by themselves. Right now, that might be kind of a hard place for you to be. So I wanted to encourage just thinking of it a little bit differently. Sometimes when we can't change something, we can reframe it. We can change our perspective on it, and it helps us a lot. So wanted to put that out there. And the other thing is also just then that connection in moderation. So like I said, there are tons of places doing all kinds of online content and online get-togethers or online girls' nights and things like that you can do. And those are great. But I also want you to consider that you don't have to say yes to everything, right? And for some of us, this is hard in our day-to-day life, right? Maybe you have been talking to your therapist about, kind of say yes an awful lot. What am I going to do about that? So we can alter that pattern here, even while we are kind of hanging out in our houses, to say, I don't have to say yes to every Zoom get together. I don't have to say yes to every Google Hangout or FaceTime. What you really want to think about is what feeds your soul. So look at what is life breathing and life giving to you. So if you go to your online Bible study with friends, or church congregants, and that just breathes life into your soul, then absolutely that's a yes, right? If you are doing another online group and it's not breathing life into your soul, maybe painting, like an online painting class, and you're just like, man, I don't even like to paint, then that would be a no, right? So even good things, if they're too many things, can be a no. So let's say you're like, man, I love the online painting class and my online yoga and all of these things, but I'm feeling kind of burned out and tired, and my family is wondering why I'm always on my computer or phone. Maybe it's time to think about saying no to something, right? We all have to, from time to time, say no to good things. And we want to really just be judicious, even now, not to fill time with things that aren't going to bring life. So I just want to encourage you that, your no is still really important here. And you really want to be judicious in what you're choosing. What brings you life? What brings you joy? What is exciting? And also make sure that you're incorporating things that are outside of your house. Now, I know we can't go far, and in some places we can't go to the beaches and things like that. Of course, we want to abide by those rules. But most places still let you go for walks or be on greenways. And there's a lot of research that says that just 20 minutes in a natural setting can lift your mood and lower your anxiety like really significantly. So you want to really think about those things too, and like adding those things in. So all of the physical distancing doesn't have to just be done online to get that social connection. And when you're walking around outside, as long as you're socially distant, if you see a neighbor down the way, you can always wave, right? Like even those things feel really good, to just say hi, to wave, to see another person, to be seen by another person, even if you're not close enough to be within those boundaries of however many feet or meters the government has set where you are. So just something to think about there, that we want it to be diverse and life-giving. The other thing that I wanted to really think about today is, what do you want your life to look like when the restrictions are lifted? And I'm hearing this from so many clients right now that I don't know if I want to go back to everything that I used to do with, all the activities and kids' activities and my activities and what have you. And I think that is a really good question to ask yourself right now. Is this something that I want to go back to? What things right now do I think would bring life to me or to my family? And what things were just too much? And again, that can mean saying no to even good things, right? But this is an opportunity for us to take a look at what we're doing and decide, is it what I want? Is this working for me? Does it bring life? And, would I rather be doing something different? Is there something else that would be better for me in this space? And this is a great time to ask those questions. And also, if you are in a place where right now you're just kind of hanging out at home, but everything else is fairly typical, you're still able to work and things like that, but you're noticing a lot of anxiety, one thing that you can do is see how you can help others. Can you send a DoorDash gift certificate to somebody who maybe is an essential worker and, might not want to have to cook dinner? Like, are there things, that can help us reduce our feelings of sadness and fear when we give to someone else, and, and do things like that. So that's just kind of something as well to think about. So those are kind of the thoughts that have been running around in my head. And I just wanted to hop on here and talk about some positive things and some ways that you can feel better if you're not feeling great right now, and things that you can remember. And I want to leave us with one last thing, and that is gratitude. And I've posted about that quite a bit because I think it is so very important. And gratitude really helps us focus on the things that are good. And I know that right now things are not good for lots of people. There are very difficult situations. And I just want to be a huge encouragement to know that that is a real thing, right? But even in those spaces, there are things that we can be thankful for. And I want to really challenge you to look at those things, no matter what space you're currently sitting in, and think about, what things can you be thankful for? Even if it's something as simple as, that was a really cool sunrise that I saw, or sunset, or, there's some really cool planets that are visible at night right now, depending on where you are in the country, and things like that. They may seem insignificant, but they're going to remind you that not everything is terrible. And that can be very helpful to just focus on those little positives. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that it was encouraging in some way. I would love to hear your thoughts, so please comment. If you put a question down in the chat, I am absolutely going to answer it. And if there's other things that you want me to talk about, I'm going to do this every Wednesday. So shoot me a note and I will definitely do that. So thank you so much for watching and listening. And I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic, wonderful day.